on a station that no longer exists, and I don't think I'm allowed to say much about that. So I won't be doing too much of that in here today. But what will be happening is I'm going to be fumbling around with some of this new stuff because I've never done this before. So I'm going to try to figure out how to share this link here if I even can. How do I share this and let people know that I'm even out here doing this thing? Because let's start there. Trying out this live thing. Let's post one of these social media links because I don't think anybody even knows this is happening right now. Trying out this live streaming thing, we'll say. Uh, Join me for some hard hitting talk of the hockey talk. Is that what people say? Hockey talk that also involves some dumb movie stuff. That also involves some dumb movie stuff. Okay, link below. Do I guess I just drop a link in here? Control V. Will that work? Is that a thing? And then, yeah, over on the YouTubes. Over on the YouTubes. At Strip Mall Steve, one of those things. Okay, so yeah, let's just try this out. Let's see how this goes here, trying out this live streaming thing. Join me for some hard-hitting hockey talk that involves some dumb movie stuff over on the YouTubes. I think that's a word. I'm not entirely sure if it's a word or not. Also, don't know if this chat thing works. If anybody hops in here, try it out. Who knows? Lord knows I don't. Anyway, all right, I'm going to hit post on this thing. Let's see if anybody does anything with it. Post. Oh, there it is. Look at that. It's posted up there. I've never seen one of these things exist before. All right, cool. All right, well let's get on to it here. So today the Dallas Stars play. It is what are we on here? May 1st. Oh, there's somebody in the chat. Okay, yeah, so somebody can see. I do have some kind of weird aggregated chat, I think, here. So that one appears to be from a Twitter there. So yeah, like I said, Stars play today. I'm not going to beat you down with the Stars hockey talk, but they did managed to tie it up in the last couple games here. Tanev and Lindell looked awesome. Wyatt Johnston, our little 20-year-old kid, is just kicking ass like always. So, yeah, we play tonight. We'll see how they do. It's an early game for once at 6:30. But right now, since we're at about 1:02 here, what we're going to do, I am going to press play on a movie that I think is probably pretty terrible, and I haven't watched in a long time. So if anybody joins in for the next hour and a half, great. I'm probably just going to be looking up stuff about this movie and just saying it as I talk. And what that means is that I don't know what I'm going to say here. I rarely do. And so saying it while I talk means absolutely nothing at all. It was a misspeak a moment ago, but I'm going to keep on rolling. All right, so we're going to hit restart here. I'm on the Disney Plus app. This is The Mighty Ducks from 1992. Let's just hit that here. Movie starting in 3, 2, 1. There's the Disney logo. Disney logo playing. Keep the volume just low enough here so I don't get in any real trouble here. So yeah, back in the 1990s, hockey came to Texas, funnily enough. It was like 93, I'm pretty sure, when the Dallas Stars were established here. Let's take a look. Yeah, let's hit this guy here. Dallas Stars formed in Texas. Let's see here, because they were the North Stars, as you know, before there. So yeah, Dallas Stars, originally founded all the way back in old 1967 there as the Minnesota North Stars. Oh, okay, hold on. Mighty Ducks is going now. I forgot. When I was a kid, I didn't realize that there were things like, tonal choices that people are making when it comes to filmmaking. Lane Smith. Sorry, just looking at the cast list now. What a beast. You know Lane Smith from, like, My Cousin Vinny and stuff like that. He's the other lawyer. He's the prosecutor there in My Cousin Vinny. He's also the dad in Son-in-Law. Lane Smith's in a movie. You know it's going to be a solid B-tier movie. All right, so yeah. I can't play any of the audio, and I can't show you any of Mighty Ducks, but I'm going to be watching it this entire time here. This is the 1992 Mighty Ducks. And yeah, so when I was a kid, I didn't realize that they were just making, like, tonal decisions about how to shoot these particular scenes and why the lighting was so dark. So I was thoroughly under the impression that hockey took place in very dark arenas where there was very little lighting at any point in time, and it was really just is it pitch black everywhere? Because in this particular movie, I don't know if they're just trying to save money, but you can't see any of the real fans here in this initial section. So yeah, here you go. Or I guess you can see a couple fans back in the back there, which tracks for Pee Wee hockey here. Yeah, you got old young Gordon Bombay out here skating out. I think it's a penalty shot. Been years since I've watched this thing, so I don't know. I don't know who this kid is that played young Gordon Bombay. Half the time, those kids go on to be like, you know, incredible in something else, and I never knew that was that kid or something like that. Like I know Jesse Smollett or whatever is in this one. I think that guy faked getting himself beaten up or something. So yeah, let's go Mighty Ducks to IMDb here, 1992. Here we go, 1992. Yeah, give me that one. Give me the good one. Not to say there's anything bad about D2, the Mighty Ducks. We'll get to that one at another point in time, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Look at Lane Smith. Oh, he's so amped up. He's ready. He wants young Gordon Bombay to just sink this shot. Oh, and I forgot they wear the like old school, old goalie masks too, so it looks like Jason. So so sorry, I'm already getting like bot bot spam from Twitch or something like that. I want to offer promotion for your channel, dude. I don't need promotion. No one knows I'm here. Don't promote that I'm not here. This is not a thing. So anyway, oh man, I just missed it. Gordon Bombay, he didn't make the shot. I think it went off the crossbar there. But yeah, the dudes, they wear the old goalie masks like Jason with the chainsaw and stuff. And so they didn't really have those when I was growing up. They went to the full cage. And the cage is kind of scary too. But man, that old goalie mask looks intense. And I think those dudes were considered peas. Sorry for kicking the mic. I think those dudes were considered peas for even wearing that mask. Like the old school dudes, they didn't want none of that. They were happy to lose the teeth, is what I've heard. Good sign of respect there. So yeah, we're still going through the opening credits. Long opening credit scene. All right, so yeah, the whole setup there was Gordon Bombay. Young Gordon Bombay plays for the Hawks. Lane Smith was his coach, and now he missed the final shot. They lost the first game in ages. Now we've cut to Gordon Bombay as an adult here, and he's in a courtroom. Man, Emilio looks like $1 million. Okay, see, Chris Gerard just said this. Jack White is in this flick. I haven't gotten to that part of the IMDb, but I've heard that as well. Does he play a referee or something like that? Yeah, I got somebody in the chat here. Where's my full cast? I need the full billing here to see if Jack White is legitimately in this. There it is. Jack White is a utility referee. I had always heard that, but never put it together. Anyway, yeah, we got Gordon Bombay here. Looks like $1 million, Emilio Estevez. Back in my day, Emilio I thought was a major star. And now I find out he was all right, not really revered as a great actor and all. And then you find out a lot of the stuff he directed, like the Garbage Man movie or Wisdom or whatever, weren't necessarily, again, highly revered products from a film perspective. But man, to me, Emilio Estevez, Gordon Bombay, holy hell. So I think he just won his case right here. He's wearing a beautiful trench coat. I don't know who his partner is here, who this other dude. Kind of, I said he looks very 90s and waspy here, his buddy. I don't know that actor's name. I'll have to go through the full cast here and start trying to put things together. MC Gainey? There's all kinds of weird people in this movie. Interesting. Hey, yeah, Danny Tamborelli, of course, we'll get there. That's young Pete, as you know. But anyway, so if you are joined in here, yeah, Goldberg, that's right, Sean Weiss. He's a beautiful man. So some of these kids have turned out okay. Some of them, like Sean Weiss, I don't know that guy's doing all right. Yeah, the Goldberg, the goalie, a lot of these kid actors, man, I don't think they're hanging in there too well. But Emilio, I think he's just doing this because I think they brought this back. Like, what's Emilio Estevez doing? What's his IMDb say he's even got going on right now? Oh, he's quacking. Oh, that's right. We've already established that his boss's name in this movie is Mr. Ducksworth. That's not a real name. There's no one really named Mr. Ducksworth. If you do know somebody named Mr. Ducksworth, please have them reach out to me. Steve.mdpm@gmail.com. I'll even give you my personal there. Or kevin.turner@iheartmedia.com. If you could send him anything about Ducksworth, that would be great. Okay, so here we got Emilio. I think he's in a court. Oh, yes. And this is a Disney movie, and Emilio is peeled out in a Corvette, open container, drunk driving. Incredible. Yeah, the last thing Emilio has on his IMDb as the Mighty Ducks Game Changers. Poor Emilio. Poor Emilio. So yeah, now he's getting pulled over. He's definitely all sloshed here. Yeah, this is this film directed by Stephen Herrick. Yeah. Stars Emilio Estevez, Lane Smith. Where's my production company info on this? Because I could have sworn it was a Disney picture, which is insane. We'll get to box office fun in just a minute here. Yeah, Walt Disney Company put this out. Yeah, they got they got old Gordon Bombay drinking and driving in the first few minutes here. I said, we're maybe 8 minutes into this thing. Yeah, here's his buddy lawyer, who I guess he's all smug with. Maybe they're not buddies. And I think the judge is a real a-hole, too. Yep, we haven't seen Goldberg yet. But so I guess what they do here, as I recall, is they sentence him to community service. I don't know if that's happening in this scene or not. But that's essentially the premise of the film, The Mighty Ducks. It's an American-made media franchise. Features a trilogy of live-action films, if you didn't know. D2, they go to the Olympics, I'm pretty sure. But it's like the Junior Olympics or something that I don't know if are actually a real thing. I think they're called the Junior Goodwill Games or something like that. All right, okay, now we're back in Gordon's office. There's Mr. Ducksworth, again, which is not the real name of a real human. Ducksworth definitely sounds like somebody who would be in DuckTales, understandably, Ducksworth. I mean, I guess I can do a look at people with the last name Ducksworth. People with the last name Ducks. I mean, nobody famous, right? There's no, like, Tom Ducksworth, who's a famous actor like Tom Cruise or anything. Like, they clearly just made it up to make this movie plot, I don't know, tie together with this dude's name. Either way, Gordon, he's putting in the hard work here. I went to JO's for swimming. I don't understand what that means. I don't want to know what that means, sir. But yeah, this movie, 1992 here, came out. And like I said, came out around the time that hockey came to Texas. Like I was saying, I think the Dallas Stars were 1993 there. And I was but a wee lad who started playing hockey, and I sucked because everyone in Texas sucks. And your coaches will tell you that immediately. They're like, oh, hey, at least in the 90s. It might be different now. I don't know. Oh, crap. Oh, sorry, I'm super ADD. Gordon's got a driver now. So when I was a kid, I thought drunk driving was awesome because you got to drive around in a limousine now with your own professional driver that your law firm pays for. So this did not seem like a punishment to me necessarily. Gordon Bombay technically has to go hang out with some kids, but I'm pretty sure he's driving around in a limousine with his own personal driver, his own chauffeur dude. So you're like, all right, man, seems like you've come out pretty all right here. Okay, now we've cut to our first kids. And I forget the names of all these kids. I think one of them's Carp, one of them's Averman. Oh, there's old Joshua Jackson Conway. And they got this like Italian kid who I'm sure his name is Vinny or something like that. And I think that kid's actually a real deal actor now. I said I did not do any cast research on this in the beginning. So yeah, Joshua Jackson there. That's old Charlie Conway. I said, all these names are absurd. Guy Germain. Yeah, Terry Hall. There's old Jesse Smollett and Adam Banks. But yeah, so when you're playing hockey in Texas, especially as a kid, they tell you really suck. Yeah, like this kid, or this guy here, Tito. Only hockey I played was in elementary during PE. So yeah, you couldn't get on the ice hardly because there was only one ice rink around where you could play hockey when I was a kid. I mean, they had Star Center, and then there was like one league, I think, in the Galleria. Maybe Prestonwood Mall had like a small league that they would run out. I take it back. There was an Isoplex in Addison, so there was something in the middle of Addison there, and then eventually Plano got hockey, so it got a little easier. Oh, these kids are now. I think these kids have fed a dog a bunch of chili, and have now put it in a bag here, and are waiting for somebody to step on it. Oh no, they put it in a purse. That's right. I think they put dog feces into a purse, then threw a purse on the side of the road. This is a very elaborate setup for a prank these kids went through. Yeah, now they've got a sped up Benny Hill style scene here where somebody in a car is chasing these kids over. Incredible. So yeah, we had to play a lot of street hockey and a lot of roller hockey more than anything. So there was a place in place in Richardson called Slapshot that did a decent job. They put out good inline hockey there, and that was always more fun because I was small. And getting on the ice is hard, and driving to Valley Ranch really sucked. So I played a lot of ice, but inline certainly way more fun. All right, let's try to find out the names of all these kids here. Averman, that actor's Matt Doherty. What's the what's the what's the quirky Italian kid's name? So what's that character name? God, I would have known the Italian kid in Mighty Ducks. Sorry to my New Yorker Italian guys. Vincent LaRusso. No, he plays Adam Banks. I mean, that guy's actually Italian. I'm sorry. This kid got cut out of D2. I think he's not around. That's the thing. He was only in this first one, so I don't know his name as well. So it'll come up at some point, I'm sure. Somebody will chime in at some point. Yeah. So back in the 90s, this when hockey came to Texas, the Stars have only won, I think, one Stanley Cup, and that was 99. Let's take a look. Stars Stanley Cup wins. I'm pretty sure that was just 99. I know we got there. Let's see. Been there 5 times. Let's find our Stanley Cup appearances. 81. I guess they were the North Stars back then. Lost in 5 games to the New York Islanders. However, by the early 1990s, declining attendance and the inability to secure a new downtown revenue-generating arena led ownership to request permission to move the team to San Francisco Bay. League rejected the request and instead just gave it to the San Jose Sharks, a new expansion team. Didn't know that. So there you go. North Stars were supposed to... Thank you, Jay. I'm also addicted to your work. So the North Stars were supposed to go to San Francisco initially, but the league was like, no, screw you. We'll just give them the Sharks instead, which is kind of cool. As a kid, I did love the Sharks because they had a cool color scheme, and that's a cool-ass logo. I know it sounds like a cheap logo. Like, I'm pretty sure they use it in Any Given Sunday. Oh, sorry, Gordon's meeting all the kids now. I think he just drove onto the ice. Oh my gosh, incredible. So I think they use the Sharks as like a football team name in Any Given Sunday or some stupid crap like that. So I can't say that there's a lot of prestige with the name the Sharks, but maybe I'm missing some. But I loved it as a kid. Like I said, cool color scheme, cool ass logo. All right. I'll get back to Dallas Stars Cup history in a minute here. Aberman does have a lot of good attitude, though. He's a rah-rah guy. I love that Aberman. He's the nerdy kid with glasses. He's got red hair. He's a real dweeb. Like I said, Gordon Bombay in that limousine looks like $1 million. Oh, this kid's wearing a San Jose Sharks sweatshirt. So I bet the NHL was like, hey, buddy, you're going to make this movie in 1992 since we just gave them a team here in 1990. Why don't you just throw this San Jose Sharks sweatshirt on Averman here? He's got knocked down by a girl. Good for him. So yeah, the 1991 expansion franchise, North Stars were sold to a group of investors that originally looking to place a team in Jose. Yeah, Calgary owners. Yeah. When else did we go to the Stanley Cup? That's all I care about. Take me to my Stanley Cup appearances. Yeah, only one time there. That's right. Yeah, 1998, 1999. It's only the one time. Conference championships we've won. Yeah, 98, 99, obviously. 99, 2000. So then we lost in the Stanley Cup finals there. Then 2019, 2020. It was like right before the pandemic or something like that. I can't remember. Time runs together nowadays, as you can imagine. Man, Gordon Bombay looks incredible. How old was Emilio Estevez in 1992? Emilio Estevez. Birthday. So 1962 means he's only 30 years old. That's why he looks like $1 million. I'm like, man, I wish I looked as good as Emilio Estevez right now. He's only 30. If he was born in 62 and this is 92, I guess that's true. He was just playing a high school kid in the Breakfast Club. Okay, a lot of kids are jumping all over his car and shake, rattling, and rolling this limousine here. That's pretty fun. Driver looks pissed. Driver's got a cool ass mustache too. I can't grow one of those cool ass mustaches. You know those like big Chicago guys who look like they do nothing but scarf down sausage all day. Oh, I would kill for one of those mustaches. I think it's all genetics. I think like my son will probably have it because I think that all comes from like your mother's dad's side or something like that. So like I know my wife's dad had a monster like walrus stash that I've got no shot at achieving here. Okay, the kids are in the car now. I think was there some jelly beans at one point? I can't remember. I seem to recall the driver getting pretty ticked off about people. Sorry, FCC training there. Yeah, there's some jelly beans. I was gonna say I seem to remember enjoying candy quite a bit in this scene. Um, they are riding in a limousine. I can't say I've ever. I tell you about maybe 3 times I've been in a limousine, and all of them were like prom related or like I won a contest. You don't see the limousine quite as much, I feel like, as you used to. I feel like the limo, I don't know, is it just all party bus now? Is the limo just not work on city streets? Too many potholes? Is the town car classier? Because back in the day, man, that stretch limo, it was something else. I loved a good stretch limo. Um, sorry, forgive me. Checking my phone here because I'm not a professional broadcaster. I'm new at this. Um, I am new at this for real. And what I mean by that is I don't typically broadcast alone. I can't say that I've ever broadcasted anything alone. I've run presentations before, and that's always very nerdy and annoying. So forgive me. I could certainly treat this in like as if I was like a cable news talk show host and just ask myself a bunch of rhetorical questions all the time. You know, why are the Mighty Ducks doing stuff like this? Yeah, why is that old man shaking that child upside down? Is he trying to get candy out of his pockets? Um, yeah, why did they drive on the ice? Why couldn't they park in a parking spot? So I could certainly go about it that way. I don't want to do that. Oh shit, the Hawks are back. Sorry, trying not to cuss. Here's the Hawks. So the Hawks circle around and they all knock their sticks one at a time, and they're like, Hawks, 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 Hawks. And so the Ducks don't have any of that stuff. Also, if you're just now joining us, we are like 25 minutes in or 22 minutes into live streaming 1992's The Mighty Ducks. So apologies if you have no idea why my attention keeps getting diverted over here. That is the 1992 The Mighty Ducks, starring Emilio Estevez, who only 30 at the time, and he looks incredible. And I mean, again, he just looks young. I'm like, does this have a de-aging filter? But I forget he was legitimately only 30 years old. So that's what's occurring here. I'm just so used to seeing old people now. Okay, so yeah, this is like a pee-wee hockey place, but for some reason they've got every year of like what year the Hawks were the champs, and it seems like almost as if this is the Hawks like home arena or something like that, which, again, hockey, very different in Minnesota, very different in Michigan and stuff like that. This, I'm pretty sure, is based out of Minnesota is where they're setting it. So maybe there's 20 ice rinks for every 10 kids up there, and they all have their own home arena where they can all deck out their own stuff. It just wasn't that way here. Let's see, but so what they're giving you the impression of is that the only time they've ever lost a championship is when Gordon effing Bombay, Emilio Estevez, screwed up and hit that post when he was a little kid. Oh, and now we're cutting to this other guy, Adam Banks, wearing number 9, Mike Modano's number. Mike Modano will make an appearance in this film later. Him and I think Basil McRae or something like that. I don't know that I ever even saw Basil McRae play. I think I had a card, but I never saw much about him. Okay, so yeah, there's Lane Smith. He's like, I wish they'd take that one down. He's so ticked off about losing that one year back in like 1972. Yes, I think it was when he was 10 years old. Yeah, the 1972 Pee Wee Champs. Yeah. Okay, so now they're flashing back to it again. Again, it's so dark. It's so intense. Oh my gosh, the amount of trauma that Lane Smith is imposing onto young Gordon Bombay there. It's what led him to drinking and driving. I mean, clearly. Oh, gosh, they don't even have jerseys and uniforms. That's That's terrible stuff. So I forgot that this is a full like rags to riches story as well. Because Gordon himself has money because he's not some bum like these District 5 kids. He's from, I don't know, I guess he's from a good part of town. Um, Either way, he made good for himself. I don't know what his old man did. Let's see here. I'm sorry, I gotta answer text because people light me up and I'm technically in the middle of crap that I'm supposed to do. But we're streaming right now for you because technically I was always doing a weekday update right now. And I know also, by the way, that KT Fun Tweets is doing a stream at 3 p.m. today. That's KT at 3. So if you go to youtube.com at KT Fun Tweets and like subscribe to his stuff, go there on YouTube, follow him and subscribe to his stuff. He'll put out way more of this stuff than I will. I'm just doing this because I'm typically always talking right now, and I just wanted to mess around with this software because I've never done it before, but I've also never broadcasted alone. So again, please bear with me. Whatever works. Sorry, got to get that text out. Whatever works. Thanks. Okay, so yeah, now we got Mighty Ducks going on here. Where I guess it's just red versus black. And so District 9 just has to wear red jerseys, but there's no uniformity to them at all. Like some of them look like tie-dye red. One kid's got a Montreal Canadiens jersey. Oh, Goldberg just fell down. So the Hawks just skated up. There was no defense at all played on them. Oh, there's Jesse Smollett. And yeah, Goldberg, I think Sean Weiss there. First shot on goal. He just fell down, which is exactly my strategy back when I played baseball. It really drove my parents and the umpires quite insane because apparently it's very difficult to call strikes against you if you just fall down as soon as the ball is pitched. And eventually they'll just call 3 strikes on you for falling down. But yeah, right around age, right 10, 11, right around Gordon Bombay's age there. Oh, one kid's wearing like boxer shorts on the outside instead of breezers and pads. He's not wearing hockey pads. Yeah, Gordon Bombay's beside himself. This is tough. For a regular season game for a peewee, there is like 200 people here. So yeah, they weren't saving money on extras, or maybe they were shooting around. I'd have to go watch it a little closer. Goldberg's wearing a Philadelphia Flyers jersey. So yeah, they just threw any team they could get here. They just threw it on and said, you know what, have at it. Wear it in game 1. We don't care. Half of them I don't even think have helmets. One kid's just wearing a bike helmet. Okay, no, they've got helmets. That Carp has a football helmet on. Again, none of that stuff is going to be legal. The referees would not have allowed this game to take place. But yeah, baseball umpiring. If you do have a kid who's just falling down all the time, I can tell you he wants to quit. He does not want to be playing baseball anymore. There's a reason he's falling down at the plate. It's because the ball is too fast and he doesn't trust those kids who are throwing it. So if your child is doing that, let him just quit. All right. So now we got old Adam Banks over here. So again, right now he's on the Hawks. They keep really drilling into him. Oh, yeah. There's Lane Smith. It's not worth winning if you can't win big. It's always really great where they're like... They're like, hey, run the score up on those kids, by the way. I don't care if it's hockey and typically the scores are like 12-0. Let's make it 30-0 this game because F them kids. Yeah. Okay, now Goldberg has just thrown his stick down and he's allowing people to openly score because he doesn't care. I think it's 17-0 right now at the end of the game. Okay, that's respectable. Oh, yeah, Lane Smith's ticks. Oh, he's ticked off. Sorry, he says they should have had more. Should have had more goals on him, which he's right. 17 goals, you probably should have had more than 5 goals. Thank you, Jason. I do remember when I killed the Blight Farms Giant. Yeah, Lane Smith telling him he should have more goals. That's tough. I guess go for it, because I do agree. If you should be shooting from immediately inside the blue line. If you know that the goalie can't stop anyone, can't stop anything, then just heave it at the goal, man. I said, I've played against goalies like that before, and it's sad for them. Works great. So yeah, you just throw it in there as soon as you get inside the blue line. Oh yeah, now Gordon's ticked. Gordon is screaming and yelling at these kids. Oh, yeah. Disney movie where you're screaming, "Why the hell don't you just listen to me?" That's incredible. There needs to be more Disney movies where adults are just outright screaming at kids after they've been convicted for drunk driving. That is the kind of quality programming that Disney needs to get back to. None of this Moana crap. And I love Moana. Moana's a beautiful film. But there's no drunk driving hockey coach who's yelling at kids, cursing at them after they lost one hockey game. I think it only gets worse from here. Oh, yeah. So I think Jesse and Terry are two brothers on the team, like they're biological brothers and they're brothers. And their dad is ticked. Like, I think their dad doesn't like watching them suck at hockey, and so he's going to take it all out on the coach, which I feel for that guy. I've been a coach of a team, and I had no idea what I was doing. I did not get sentenced to community service, but when you do sign your kid up for Little League and stuff like that, sometimes no one volunteers to coach. And then they just keep sending you threatening emails about how they're going to cancel your team, cancel your team. And so you get in your head and you're like, it's got to just be a bunch of moms, right? Like, there's nobody that can do it. Like, nobody can possibly coach this team. I must be the only one that can do it. And then you're like, all right, you reluctantly volunteer at the last minute. And then you know what? You know who's on the sideline of every practice and every game? The sportiest looking dudes who look like they played college ball, and they're all jacked up with Johnny Unitas haircuts and stuff like that, judging me because I don't know how to run a practice for, I don't know, second grade baseball or whatever. And then I'm having to do coach pitch and I'm beaming kids or whatever because I'm not good at that. Apparently, it's really hard to coach pitch. So I do feel bad. If any of your kids ever played on a team that I coached, they did not get better at any point in time because I taught them nothing. I was just there to try to not tick off the referees. I typically side with referees in every game. Even when I'm watching professional sports, unless the referee's just being a real dumbass like Angel Hernandez or something like that. Like if it's egregious, I'm like, all right, that referee's got to go. Or they're making bad calls. Obviously, they got to go. But most of the time, the ref's probably doing his job accurately. The fans are probably just ticked off about it. Especially at younger ages too, they really don't care about your kids one bit. They're just there for the $20. Oh, there's Goldberg again. I think we're in game 2 now. We've already cut to game 2. They still don't have jerseys, so we haven't done the glow up montage yet. Oh, okay. Okay, cut the acting job. So yeah, what we skipped over here is I'm pretty sure Gordon Bombay told these kids to cheat. So yes, and if you are just joining us, I am doing live commentary on the 1992 hit The Mighty Ducks. So yeah, Gordon Bombay just told these kids to cheat and take dives. So now you got Charlie Conway up here. He's in a pile where for some reason nobody's calling a penalty for anything, which is fine. Okay, so yeah, he calls Charlie over. Here's Emilio. This is Emilio and Joshua Jackson. This is a great one-on-one scene. Joshua Jackson's acting his ass off, even though he's just staring there. That's what acting is. Acting is more reacting. He did a great job right there. He didn't do too much. It's perfect. All right, now he's got to go take a dive. Emilio just told him, hey, next time you get in a pinch like that, you take a dive, you act like your eye just got cut. And so they cut to this shot where there's literally a stick inside of Charlie's helmet. And for some reason, the refs don't see this in any way. They're just like, looks fine. So yeah, it's not up to you to take a dive. I mean, Charlie didn't do himself any favors right there, but the refs probably should have called that for there just being a stick inside the cage. But as I speak it out, or as I talk through this, no, that kid's equipment sucks. That you should have better cage equipment to where the stick can't get up in there. All right, man. All right, yeah. So here's Jesse's dad. He's pissed. He's very upset. Oh yeah, I think that's Jesse Smollett. Sorry, I think their names are Jesse and Terry. I forget the character names. Hold up. Go back to my Terry Hall. Or Jesse Hall. Hall. How many Halls are there? Yeah, Jesse and Terry. Okay. But Jussie Smollett plays Terry Hall. Brandon Quinton Adams plays Jesse Hall. Okay, cool. All right, now we're at Hans's workshop. So I think this is our first appearance of Hans here, and that is played by the great Joss Hackland, who's definitely in The Hunt for Red October. I think he's the bad guy in Lethal Weapon 2. You'd know him. He's just a weird old guy with white hair who's just a creepy old guy and stuff. So here he is talking to Emilio like Jan. That's too Spanish. He gets more German. I don't have a good yawn in my back pocket right now. Yeah, I think they're talking about Lord knows what. Sharpening skates. Yeah, Jan pulls a little prank on him. Sharpening skates, by the way. Oh, here's a guy who played inline back in the day. Oh, yeah, dude, the cool little tennis court circuit. Sorry, I'll come back to skate sharpening in a minute. Yeah, the Dallas tennis court circuit of roller inline hockey. And yes, you call it inline if you've done it long enough, but it's roller hockey to the layman out there. It's like table tennis and ping pong, I believe. Yeah, Friday nights, man, back in the day, before I, hung out with girls too much. So probably like 14 and under, and then I'd still play occasionally. I was like 16 to 20 on random off Friday nights. But yeah, up there at, God, that had to be Northwest Highway in Buckner or something like that. There was a good little tennis court game that took place every Friday, and I bet there were more games going on too. I think there was one off, Abrams or something like that. And yeah, I can't remember. I'm not going to try to go through it now. Too long ago. But sharpening skates. What was I going to say? If you've ever worked in an ice rink, and that is something I did for a little bit because I was an idiot, and I was like, hey, I'll work at this ice rink. It was a job I had down in Austin for maybe 2 months or something like that. And it's cool because you get to go up and skate around, and you're like, hey, all right, I can skate, and I'll get some ice time in. That's great. And I'll learn how to use this sharpener. And that's really awesome. But the main reason I took it is because they told me that when you're down in the like sharpening area or the area where people come and rent skates from you, it's the rental booth. I don't even know if there's a official name for it. You could put on whatever music you wanted. There was a little CD player. So, hey, if you're down there working the booth, the music's all yours. You're in control. So that was pretty much the reason I took it. And I was like, all right, yeah, that sounds great. I'll get some ice time, put on whatever music I want. Sounds great. And then you get the job, and the job is pretty much just like a quota system for how good of a blacksmith you are. Because it's all about, Buckner Mockingbird. It's all about how fast you can sharpen those skates. Oh, there's Nathan. Hey, Nathan. Don't mind me. I'm just saying stupid things about the Mighty Ducks from 1992. And I don't know. There's a radio station I was on that's not around anymore, Nathan. So I'm not allowed to talk about that too much. But a lot of people are doing these live streams. And I was like, hey, I would like to mess around with that software too. And it would probably be a good idea to learn that stuff. So that is what I'm doing in here. And tell me if you can't hear anything. It seems like people can hear stuff, though, if they're responding to things. But anyway, yeah. So sharpening skates, it's like being a blacksmith. It's not fun at all. There's just sparks everywhere, and it's very warm all the time, just like it's warm right now in my stupid studio because I've got these dumb lights going. Probably need a better fan. But yeah, it's one of the worst jobs imaginable. And then this is like 20 years ago. I didn't know people had like remote monitoring on cameras and stuff like that. Again, a lot of times I would just burn something and go up and skate around. And if it gets to like 7:30 p.m. on a night when you close at 9 and you can tell nobody's coming in, it's not like it's Christmas time or something. I think I worked there in like September and August or something like that. It's like nobody was coming in. It was like back to school. And then, sorry, I caught Gordon Bombay skating in my periphery over here. And then, some boss called in and was like, hey, we can tell you're not sharpening skates right now. You shouldn't be up skating. And I just walked downstairs and quit because I love quitting jobs. Quitting jobs is one of my favorite things to do. So I quit that ice skating job because they had called me and said they were monitoring from home, and I was supposed to be sharpening skates right then. So I left. All right. Anyway, so now we've got Gordon Bombay up here. I guess as an adult, he's laced up his ice skates for the first time. And as he's skating around this pond, you see it flash back to when he wore number 9. Not like Charlie, but like Adam Banks, I guess. So That's what's weird is that there's this big dynamic between Emilio and Charlie, this whole like father-son thing where it's supposed to feel like this connection. But really they're more like, well, actually, Emilio, you're more like Adam Banks because Adam Banks is like really good and he wears number 9 and he's a prodigy. Where I don't think anybody's under the impression that Charlie's really good. In fact, he kind of sucks in this one. And then I think they let everybody be good in the second one because it's those junior Goodwill games. Like somebody corrected me on there. Apparently, Estevez made $5 million for this flick. Yeah, I'll get to budget and box office and stuff. I have not looked up what people's estimated salaries were for any of this. $5 million, pretty good deal in 1992, actually. Let's see how much it made in total. Go back to my wiki over here. Where's my box office mojo for the Mighty Ducks in 1992? All right, give me the whole franchise, fine. Made $50 million domestically. Good for them. Did the others do as well? I mean, the others did better on opening, funnily enough, which makes sense. Nobody knew what it was. They definitely got more Disney-fied as they went. Like I said, this one's got a drunk driving attorney who has no problem. Oh, now he's probably about to start putting the moves on Charlie's mom, which I don't even think he like really. Maybe they hook up at the end, but I think he bails on her at the end too. I can't remember. I think he gets on a bus and he's just like, yeah, it's been fun, babe. I'm going to grab a pack of smokes and head out to minor league hockey or something like that. I'll have to wait till I get there. But then he comes back to be a coach. Anyway. So yeah, he's over at Charlie's house, seemingly because Charlie sucks at hockey. Again, we have not done our glow up montage yet. So everybody, I think, is still poor because they're in District 5. And they all still suck because they don't have one good player. And that's the best part. I do love the movie formula that one good player can make the entire team better. It's in the Sandlot. It's in the Big Green. The Big Green, it's kind of offensive. And I've seen it play out in real life here in Texas. I'm not going to lie. We're like, hey, my kid's team doesn't win unless Marco shows up. And you're like, oh, Marco has full command over the soccer field. Like, Marco is about 10 times better than every other kid on this field in Allen, Texas right now. So it's unfortunate that it does work that way in youth sports. Hey, you got to have difference makers. That's why Luka and LeBron and those cats are so important. But I do love it in movies where they're like, this team totally sucked, but if we could just get Adam Banks. Because they were taking dives a minute ago. Okay, shit. Here we are. All right, now we got Gordon Bombay. He's in here. He's asking Ducksworth for money. This is how you do it. This is how Ben Rogers would do it. Ben Rogers is the smartest man I know when it comes to getting money from other people. Because and I don't mean that in a negative way. He's got a type of skill that I do not have. I could never raise money in my life. I'd be like, I don't believe in me enough to ask you for any money. And that's a problem I have with extremely low self-esteem. But other people have no issue with that at all, and they're able to raise money, and they're able to sell it properly and position it in a way that makes a lot of logical sense for all parties involved. I am not good at that. So yeah, here's Gordon Bombay, a guy who was convicted for drunk driving, sentenced to community service. He's had the law firm pay for a driver for him to rehabilitate him, and he's not working. Seemingly this youth peewee hockey team is now his full-time job somehow. And now he has just gone and asked them for money, which seems to be a workaround for him to funnel some extra cash into Jan's failing hockey shop. Because now here comes the kids. I'm pretty sure this is Good Vibrations by Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch going on underneath here. And yeah, you cut to the kids inside inside Jan's hockey shop. And now we got a shopping montage. Here we go. Everybody's getting new gear. And yeah, I mean, they're too young for any other song to go here. Good Vibrations works great. Okay, yeah, there's some fighting stuff. I still got to figure out the New Yorker kid's name. He didn't come back for the second one. It's a real bummer. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any other patrons of this shop, really. Oh, okay. There is a ice sculpture display inside of the store that has never made any logical sense to me. So inside of this hockey shop, in this world created, this universe of the Mighty Ducks, there is like a permanent ice structure that exists in the hockey shop where this kid, Fulton Reed, who I don't think has been introduced yet, he just was like a goon. that's just kind of hanging around, lurking around. He goes and grabs a stick that's like lodged into the ice. It's basically melted in there, frozen in there, and he dislodges it. So I don't know what the budget is to keep an ice sculpture going at all times. It's an incredible display. So I don't know if it was just a specialty thing. Um, as a sales rep, it's definitely a skill. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. There are certain things that I am not good at. I'm self-aware enough to know what I'm not too strong at. Okay, so one thing we did just miss after Fulton grabbed a hockey stick out of a ice sculpture that is permanently fixated into a remote hockey shop in Michigan or Minnesota, sorry, is that the little New Yorker kid, I'm sorry, I still don't know his name. For me, he's Pizzarelli kid. I'm sorry. I know we've got little Pete from Pete and Pete in here, so Pete and Anthony are kind of the only names I can think of. Anyway, that kid saw that Gordon used to be a Hawk because for some reason there's newspaper clippings of all these Pee-wee hockey games from 30 years ago. These 10-year-olds, or I guess it was 20 years ago in this universe. It's 1972 to 1992. So 20 years ago, this one hockey shop still has a clipping of Gordon missing a shot. Incredible to keep that press clipping up. It's just Bombay loses the championship game or something, like really twisting the knife into your good buddy Gordon Bombay there, as if Jan or Han, I think they changed their names. I think there's a cousin or something in the second one. As if he's obligated to keep that on the wall. Okay. Now, where we are in this brilliant hockey classic here is there's a scene where Gordon brings a bunch of eggs onto the middle of the ice. This would also lead me to believe that, yeah, there must be so many ice rinks that they're just like desperate to fill space or something like that, versus here, where, again, when I was growing up, there were so few that ice time was scarce. Like, it was very difficult to get any ice time. But here, Gordon has got the entire rink. Looks like there's nobody else around for this practice, and there's eggs everywhere. Because what he's trying to do, he's trying to teach these kids how to cradle the puck. You got to have soft hands. And that is important. You want to be able to receive a pass. You don't want to just have your stick just sitting there on the ice. And, it's just like anything else, just going to smack up against it there and go thwack. You don't want it to go thwack. You want to see when it's coming in. You want to gently cradle it. You want to use your wrists and kind of absorb the puck as it comes in. And it's a beautiful feeling. But somebody splashes, I think it's Charlie. Yeah, Charlie kind of whacks a slap shot of eggs right up onto Gordon's sweater. It's incredible. It's hard to wash a sweater. I don't know if they're dry clean only. I don't know if you just have to wash them and let them like sit out and dry. I've seen my wife do that. I don't think I've ever had a sweater that's made it through 3 times getting worn where it looked the same. Because if it gets washed, if anything happens to it, if it's just been worn too many times to where I'm like, I can't reasonably wear this again, it's just gross at this point, then I think the sweater's kind of done. I don't have good sweater maintenance. I don't know what my sweater maintenance strategy is. All right, so now Goldberg has a bunch of pads. So Goldberg, this is kind of his awakening, his realization as a character that, if you have pads on, it does not hurt. And that was an incredible realization from when you were a kid, is that, if I put hockey pads on, just like those guys in Batman, hockey pads, that, hey, you can just get hit anywhere. It's great. Like that first time you put a cup on, if you're a dude, and you just thwack it as hard as you can. Take a stick, do whatever you can. You're like, it's like a steel toe boot down here. And you just give it a thwack. So it's that way with hockey pads all the time. Because you've got the big breezers, you got the shin guards that go all the way up over your knees. The only place you're really super exposed is kind of like on the back of the leg and stuff like that. And then there's a little spot in the belly. The belly, you're wide open there, so you can definitely take some belly shots if you're not careful. What was the actual budget on the Mighty Ducks? Because open to 15 there. What's 10 million? So somebody in the chat here said Emilio got 5 million. Emilio took half the budget for himself. All right, let's Emilio Estevez salary. Mighty Ducks 1. Screw it. Let's see. How much was paid? I don't know. I'll have to find a source on that one. And see, that was for D2? Okay. D2 makes sense. I was gonna say, is a proven commodity at that point. And they can't make it without you. What are they gonna do? Go pay Lane Smith to coach those kids to the Junior Goodwill Championships? Dunk on Trinidad and Tobago and take on those Icelanders? I don't think so. Okay, so now I forget what happened, but Gordon is no longer allowed to be in the limo. Maybe this happened when Ducksworth gave him the money for all the pads, where he's like, hey guys, I can't get you all new skates and all new sticks, which, by the way, is exorbitant. If your kids play hockey, I apologize for you. I don't know why my parents let me play hockey. All that crap is the most expensive stuff on earth. But yeah, now the dude's driving around in a van. So Emilio Estevez's drunk designated driver guy, he's in this like big Econoline van now, which is kick ass. I don't know if I'm pretty sure they still make those with the windows. I don't know if they all still have the like big old benches like that, but I'm pretty sure they still make some version of them. So while they're driving down the street, though, one of their windows gets shattered by a hockey puck. And what do you know? Here's old Fulton Reed. Let's see, I forget that actor's name. Let's go look him up. Fulton Reed, played by Eldon Henson. And that guy's been in some other stuff. Yeah, Daredevil, Idle Hands, Butterfly Effect. Like, oh yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon. Like, he's still out doing stuff. He's a legitimate dude. he's not like Sean Weiss or some of those other guys where it's just a sad tale and I don't like talking about him. You know, that's no fun. But anyway, so they stop their big giant Econo van or whatever, hop out, and they're like, hey, kid that I've never met before who might be underage and we're probably not supposed to be talking to like this because I'm a community service appointed hockey coach. But I guess he scouts him out right here. And he says, hey, take some shots. And you see Fulton take like 5 slap shots in a row. I'd imagine it's 5 slap shots. And one of them hits a window, one of them goes wide, and then one of them hits this little like trunk container thing. And you find out the reason that Fulton doesn't play hockey is that he can't skate. So then cut to what I'm pretty sure is the Mall of Americas. Let me go look here. Mighty Ducks Mall of America. I did 0 research for this. So yeah, then they cut to them, Mall of America from D2, the Mighty Ducks. I don't know. I don't know what they're in. They're skating through a mall in this first one no matter what. I don't know which mall it is because, again, like I said, I did know. Oh, here we go. Minneapolis Mighty Ducks locations. Give me the full list here. Bombay, visit Han Sports Shop. Okay, rollerblading in downtown Minneapolis, and the first one is at the City Center Skyway across Nicollet in the Gavide Common. So in the second one, I guess they go to Mall of America. Makes sense. Yeah, Hans's Sports Shop. There's a legitimate location, someplace called Theodore with Chalet. Interesting. Where are we now? Okay, so yeah, they had to teach Fulton how to skate. Rollerblading, I don't consider it to be hard. Maybe it's because I was on quads first or whatever. But certain people, if you're like super tall and lanky, I don't think rollerblading is particularly easy for you from what I've gathered from people. But I'm built a certain way where rollerblading was easy as could be. So I felt bad for Fulton right here. They also had him going downstairs. There's a certain kind of rollerblader who goes downstairs. That was those guys who like wore K2s or whatever those little like grinding rollerblades were. Like hockey guys, I was not really trying to go downstairs often. That didn't seem like it had much practical application for my my life generally. I did like going down big hills on really fast skates though, and you'll take a tumble on those things. But stairs I wanted no part of. Okay, so now the jerseys are here. They've got legitimate green jerseys, and I'm not mistaken, I don't have my history exactly correct. I don't think any of the like Anaheim Mighty Ducks logos or branding was around yet. When were the Anaheim Mighty Ducks? That I'm pretty sure it was done after this movie was released. Yeah, they were founded in 1993. NHL awarded the franchise to Disney in December 1992, along with the rights to a Miami team that became the Florida Panthers. The Ducks were originally called the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim and were inspired by the 1992 movie The Mighty Ducks. So I think in D2 is when they like whip out the official like new garb or whatever. Sorry, I'm bad on the comments here. Sorry. Thanks, Lewis. Thanks, Nathan. Belly shots from Texas Carter there. All right, so yeah, we've got Fulton in the first game here, and they're playing a team named the Cardinals, which is interesting. And I like the two bird names. I don't know how many bird names are in the NHL. I mean, Red Wings are shoes, right? Are the Red Wings in reference to a red bird like a cardinal or a robin or something like that? I know Red Wings as a shoe. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, Fulton's warming up, and he shatters the glass on from a slap shot. That means your rink is in disrepair. If you've got a youth child, which we're led to believe that's what Fulton is here, even though they make him seem like he's a 28, 30-year-old man, but he's seemingly a child who just took a slap shot and shattered the glass on one of your sideboards there. That probably means you didn't have the right plexi on there or whatever type of glass is used there. I've never personally seen them shatter in a youth game from a slap shot, but hey, what do I know? Yeah, now they're playing against the Cardinals here. It's 2-0. Yeah, Fulton, not good. So they do set this up multiple times that even though he can shoot very, very hard, he is highly inaccurate, which I always love that there's a Achilles heel to these players. So we've already set up that Adam Banks is a guy on another team. He's the best player on their team. God, he's incredible. And then we've got Fulton Reed here. He's our newest guy. And he's very inaccurate. Okay, the Ducks just pull a comeback here because remember this is a Disney movie, so there's got to be they're no good, they're no good, they're slowly getting better, they're gonna eke their way in here. Now they're down 2-1 to this dumb Cardinals team here. All right, again, Bombay looks like $1 million. The hockey isn't terrible in this movie because shooting hockey is not particularly easy or done well. Like, I think there's only so many, like, legitimate NHL movies. Sudden Death, I think, has actual NHL players in it. Mystery Alaska, which is a weird film that I certainly enjoyed when I was a kid. I have not revisited it in a long time. Russell Crowe had long hair. I think the New York Rangers were in that one. I think there was a movie called In First Sight or At First Sight with Val Kilmer. I think maybe there was some hockey in there. You don't get a lot of like real deal NHL. You get some hockey at the beginning of Happy Gilmore, but then you get a lot of like this kind of stuff, like minor league stuff like Slapshot or youth hockey kind of shooting like this. Yeah, the hockey shooting not bad. Okay, so now we got Fulton on the rink for some reason. Is this I don't know what's happening. Okay, sorry, yeah. So all they're doing essentially the same thing as the kind of the ending of the last section of the second movie as well here. They're basically running a diversion play where they bring out this Fulton kid, set up like he's going to do a slap shot, and then because they've set him up as such a scary man who can shatter the glass, everyone on the opposing team literally skates to the side of the rink and tucks their head in between their knees like it's a nuclear drill from the 1950s or something. Incredible strategy. I would say that's a coaching failure. The Detroit Red Wings were originally the Montreal Winged Wheelers. See, thank you. That's what I need. I need somebody to Google for me right now because typically, like I've mentioned a couple times here, if you're just joining, I don't broadcast alone. So I need other people to do some things for me so that I'm not looking 20 different ways. So thank you for that because I did not know. Red Wings are a shoe, though, right? Am I crazy? Is that a Red Wing shoes? It's a manufacturing company. Which one's named after which? It's a footwear company based in Red Wing, Minnesota. So it's also a city? There's a city named Red Wing? Okay, so there's the Red Wing. Okay, so hold on. I'm trying to back it up here. I'm from Detroit. The Detroit Red Wings were originally the Montreal Winged Wheelers, but they moved to Detroit, and that's in Michigan. And then the Red Wing Boot Company is in Minnesota, which is a hockey area, but it is not Detroit, Michigan. All right. I got it. They're named after a Native American leader, ostensibly. Hey, all right. Also Eddie, you foul-mouthed man. Okay, back to Lane Smith. His finest work, it's a toss-up for me between My Cousin Vinny and Son-in-Law. If you've never seen either of them, you're missing out. Son-in-Law, one of the stronger Pauly Shore performances, I'm not going to lie. That movie actually doesn't completely fall apart under the weight of Pauly Shore. I think that's where he actually works the best, is in Son-in-Law. I mean, he's fine in Encino Man. I think by Biodome, I think we're all over Pauly Shore. I don't know what's going to happen with this Richard Simmons biopic. It doesn't sound like the rights are going well. It sounds like Richard Simmons is quite upset that Pauly Shore is trying to make this movie. So I read nothing but conflicting reports. But Son-in-Law, I think that's where Pauly Shore is at his absolute best. I think that's where, again, I think because of Lane Smith, I think Lane Smith is what makes not only Joe Pesci's performance so good in My Cousin Vinny, it's also what makes Pauly Shore so good. He's the perfect guy to play off of there. And Lane Smith, I mean, he's playing a villain right here. Sorry, yeah, he's screaming at villain, or he's yelling at Gordon Bombay as if he's a child. Oh, you're not even a has-been. You're a never was. I'm not going to lie to you, that line rings through my head quite frequently. Throughout my life, when I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm like, you're not even a has-been, man. You're a never was. Because Lane Smith, that's the kind of trauma he'll inflict on a young child. And they released this to children in 1992 when I was 7, and I loved it. Okay, so now Gordon's got to rally the troops here. Wait, hold on. I think he just told him they're getting Adam Banks. So I think I might have missed the part where Gordon got all legal. So, lest we forget, Chekhov's lawyer is that Gordon Bombay is actually a very good attorney. And so he got to work down at the City Records building and determined that there was some weird redistricting, I think, that occurred, so that they could essentially carve out a little section. Or maybe it was Jan. I think Jan is the one who told them, that said, hell yeah, you know, Adam Banks kind of is from the same neighborhood you were from, or something like that. Or I don't know, maybe some crap like that. But regardless, sorry, little New Yorker Italian kid's very ticked off and just left. But regardless, that Adam Banks kid is supposed to be a duck. And I believe Gordon Bombay just told all of his team there that, hey, unfortunately, we're about to get the best player in the league here, Adam Banks. So, sorry. And I got to hand it to these kids, because this is kind of the way I was raised, is that you just hate your rivals. You hate them. So for some reason, because these kids are Hawks, and I think they do, like, beat them up. I don't know that we've seen any of those scenes yet. They're definitely at the beginning of D2, where I remember the, like, rich preppy dudes. I guess there had to have been those scenes, because I think Adam Banks was with them at some point. So yeah, the Hawks are definitely, like, rich preppy guys who all, like, have select custom embroidered jackets. Oh, reset, please, Fabricio. Yes, absolutely. This is the live stream. I apologize. This is not like radio. This is an unofficial watch-along of the 1992 hit classic, The Mighty Ducks. I am Strip Mall Steve, formerly of a radio station that does not exist anymore, and I will not be talking about that. But to reset, a lot of my friends are doing these cool live stream things, and I want to support them. So KT Fun Tweets is doing one at 3 p.m., also, and so you can find him at youtube.com at KT Fun Tweets. And also, I don't know when Jeff Kavanaugh's next one is scheduled for, but please follow his as well, youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh, all one word there. And then go subscribe to the Ben and Skin YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure that's youtube.com/Ben and Skin. If not, throw an @ in there. I will confirm that one as well. So yes, that is a reset. But no, I am wasting my time talking about the 1992 Disney classic, The Mighty Ducks, starring a drunk driving Emilio Estevez portraying Gordon Bombay as a man who is sentenced to community service, where he takes a ragtag group of hockey players from District 5 and turns them into a real team named the Ducks, the name of which he chose because his boss, Mr. Ducksworth, needed to be swayed in order to pay for the team to go shopping at a man named Jan's Hockey Shop. I think that's where we're up to right now. Additionally, some characters were introduced. There's one gentleman named Fulton Reed, who's the best player in terms of strength, but he can't skate, and he's terribly inaccurate. And then there's this other kid, Adam Banks, who's about to become a Mighty Duck, and he's like, He's like a 5-tool player in baseball. He's got everything. He's got stick handling. He's got great shooting skills. He's got puck awareness. He knows where to pass it. He's great on the ice. So another thing that's happening here is low-key, I think Charlie's been trying to hook up his mom with Emilio Estevez. And Emilio, to his, not to his credit, he's an attorney in Minnesota. He might be swimming in high-end St. Paul, Minnesota tail. So he might not want any part of Charlie's mom who works at that dining car thing, I think. And might not have a lot going for her. But she's a lovely-looking woman. I don't know if she's back in the second one. I'm pretty sure Emilio Estevez just bails on her at the end of this movie, if I recall correctly. Maybe they hook back up in the third one, but I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen D3, and I think Emilio's only in it for a few minutes. So like maybe him and Charlie's mom are like on a honeymoon somewhere, and I don't remember that storyline, but I think he just kind of uses her up in this one. Maybe he has one night stand with her at some point. They don't ever show that. Okay. So the team has been unified. I think there was some quacking that occurred at some point because I know that is about to manifest itself here. So we cut to the kids all in their school right now. And I believe they're in chemistry class because one kid makes a H2O joke about blue balls here, which I always found to be quite amusing as a child. And a great example of a joke you don't get when you're 7. 1992, you're like, why did all those kids just laugh about blue balls? And then as you get older, you're like, oh, that is what that slightly off-color joke in The Mighty Ducks was about. I guess that was for my parents. Because me, as a 7-year-old, it flew right over my head. I did not catch the blue ball joke there. Okay, so now there's a fight going on in class. I forget what the fight's about. I don't know. People clearly ticked about something. Also, this is a co-ed hockey team, I'm pretty sure, because they do have a girl on the team. We had those in Texas, too. So when I played in high school, we didn't have enough people on the Lake Highlands campus that played hockey. Same thing with Berkner. Same thing with Berkner and Pierce and Richardson High School. So you have to combine into an RISD team. And then you play other schools that do have enough people. So places like, I think like Bishop Lynch, they had enough people to do it, but not all boys. So they had like 2 or 3 girls that played hockey on their team. And that did not exist when I was growing up until I got to the high school area. Girls, pretty damn good because they're good skaters. It's always weird to put a hit on a girl because you know you're probably going to pay for it later. But sometimes that's kind of what's called. I mean, it's not like you go out of your way to target them. It's more just, hey, I have to stand this person up right now because that's the defensive play that needs to be made. And I rarely have a size advantage. So I'm going to have to stand this person up. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, but they're a co-ed team here. I don't know that any of the other teams, when they get to D2, because clearly the Hawks are not co-ed in any way, shape, or form. When we get to D2, they add in some more girls. I don't know which all girls transfer over, but they definitely add in Julie the Cat Gaffney, which is a goalie there. Yeah. Yes, I will answer some questions about what Joshua Jackson also did. Was Charlie on Dawson's Creek too? He was. I believe he portrayed the character Pacey. I think I only watched maybe 4 episodes of Dawson's Creek, and it was in the first season. And I think I was mainly just watching to see if Pacey hooked up with his teacher, maybe. And I think that's about as far as I got into the storyline, so I don't know. I remember Dawson loved movies. I think he had like a Jurassic Park and an E.T. poster and stuff like that, so he was super into movies. I seem to recall that, but I don't know much about Dawson's Creek. Me personally, I was more of a One Tree Hill and the OC guy. So if you want to talk the OC with me, or you want to talk early seasons of One Tree Hill, there may be some later seasons that I'm kind of sloppy on. I'm happy to do it. Dawson's Creek, I will be limited. But the theme song for Dawson's Creek often pops into my head for no real reason at all. Just, do, 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 I don't want to wait. And I don't know why, because I never watched the show. And there's no reason, like I said, I don't hear Paula Cole, I believe that's who that is. I don't hear her on a routine basis. I'm not listening to Paula Cole mixes. So, I mean, I like I certainly like other tunes in that realm, but Paula Cold, that one specifically, don't know why, never dug it, but pops into my head all the time. And yeah, for the One Tree Hill fans out here, yeah, the Gavin DeGraw song, much better verse, I think. It's a good little verse bass part, you know. It's a serviceable bass part for a rock and roll song and a decent little theme song there. Okay. Oh, snap. Gordon is so we missed the kids quacking. Gordon is in Ducksworth's office wearing a Ducks jersey as if he got it from like a Hollywood film set. Like it's a crew jacket that he worked on. How much did he pay for the coach's jacket that's got like leather sleeves of a two-tone color? Yeah, it's got a leather back. I think it's like suede sleeves. Maybe they're leather sleeves. I'm having a hard time telling on this Disney Plus stream. It looks like a crew jacket. It's like a gift you get. So he was quacking at Ducksworth because he basically forced him into saying, yeah, we're going to take Adam Banks on the team. And then I'm pretty sure that was the moment where it was, Gordon, are you prepared to quit your job? Give up your life for some kids, for some team, Gordon? And Emilio Estevez is like, are you willing to fire me over some game, some kids? And so it's always fun when you can just flip the tables there. You're like, I'm not trying to quit. You're the one kind of making the ultimatum here. I'm just trying to get my rightful player on my team. But essentially Ducksworth was like, no, Adam Banks' dad is a big client here, or we go way back or something like that. So either way, Gordon Bombay stuck to his quote unquote principles. I don't think they were really principled, though. I think he was more just trying to win. But, I take it back. I've not been watching closely. He might have really learned a valuable lesson already throughout this portion of the 1992 film, The Mighty Ducks. And if you are just joining us, that's what we're doing here. So, yeah, he might have learned a lesson that, hey, these kids deserve a shot because they're having a hard time even getting a fair shake. And I think that is kind of what he was saying, is that, hey, these kids don't even have pads. These kids don't even have as good a gear as anyone else here. You can't keep the best players from them as well and expect them to feel good about how youth sports works in general, because you're turning them into losers, essentially. The deck is stacked against these kids. So to some degree, I will take Gordon Bombay's characters back. Emilio Estevez, I don't know much about his personal character, so I can't say much. Looks incredible in this film, though. I have said that several times. I will keep saying that. As a 30-year-old man, I don't think I looked that good at 30. I mean, obviously, he's a movie star. Yeah, I look at myself now. My Lord. His face is just so perfect. Like I said, it looks like there's de-aging technology on it. I don't understand it, but it's because it's 1992. All right. Now, we've got Adam Banks entering into our locker room for the first time here. So again, Coach Bombay's still wearing his crew jacket that I guess he's probably just going to wear for the rest of the movie now. Now that he bought that jacket, it looks like it cost probably $300 to buy this fancy jacket for himself. Okay, yeah. So now all the kids got to welcome Adam Banks in here, yeah. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's Jesse Smollett right there. All right, okay. Can't tell. Okay, there's little Pete. Here comes Goldberg. Oh, snap. They're all giving him the cold shoulder. So see, that's ice cold. Just because a kid's richer than you don't have to treat him poorly. That kid didn't do crap wrong. So that's a tricky part. All the movie's really done here is create some sympathy for Adam Banks, and it makes all these other kids look like doofus holes. I don't know, did any kids stick around? Charlie still in there, or did Charlie bail too? No, Charlie bailed too. Ice cold. Yeah, to be fair, Adam did show up with his, custom Hawks bag. You might not want to show up with your custom bag. By the way, if you did play hockey out there and you had a hockey bag, apologies to your parents, because it's the worst smelling thing on earth. I found that just spraying it with Febreze all the time, every minute of every day, is probably the best thing you can do there. Never leave it sitting in a car. I would never leave it zipped up either. I would just unzip it as soon as you get home, Febreze the hell out of that thing, and just let it kind of air out in your garage or something. All right. Banks is on the team. Oh, he's wearing 99. Okay, so maybe somebody did already wear 9 on the Mighty Ducks. I wasn't paying attention to everybody's numbers. I'll have to look if Charlie already wears 9 or what. Yeah, on the Ducks, Adam Banks is now wearing 99. I'm pretty sure that's Gretzky. And was Gretzky 9 on the Oilers, and then did he go to 99 or something? Or was Gretzky always 99? Again, I haven't worked on a hockey bag in a long time, so my Febreze suggestion only applies to hockey bags in 2000 and before. Edmonton Oilers, Wayne number. No, he was 99. Yeah, all the way through. Yeah. Yeah, 99 League One. Okay, yeah, all the way through. I didn't know. I was like, are they making some play there? Like, it looks like he wore number 9 when he was in the Brantford Novartsky Steelers, so probably some ultra minor league. And for Wayne Gretzky, I'm sure that's when he was like 8 years old or some crap. Okay, 8 seconds left in the game here. Is this Fulton taking a slap shot from what looks like center ice? With, yeah, definitely the red line right there. So center ice, slap shot, burns a hole in the net of the goal. Not like just rips a section where like, oh, it was already a little frayed and it was up towards the top there. Burned a hole. It was moving so fast, this puck from Fulton Reed here in the 1992 Classic, The Mighty Ducks, that it burned a hole right through the net there. Incredible stuff. Okay, so yeah, here we are, Dallas Stars. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do this. Like I mentioned, Dallas Stars play tonight. I believe it is an early game at 6:30. That probably means puck drop's going to be at 6:52. Dallas Stars versus Golden Knights. I'm almost positive that's correct. Yeah, 6:30. Yeah, so puck will drop at 6:52. In terms of where to watch it, everything is all weird tonight. So I think WFAA posted an article about that. Dallas Stars versus Golden Knights, know where to watch. I think everything's all over the place. So how to watch Mavs, Stars, and Rangers in one night. So this is here for you people. Because, hey, the Dallas Stars play against the Golden Knights at 6:30 p.m. tonight. And right now on my screen over here, I'm looking at young Mike Modano when I think he's like 19 or 20 years old here. And they're still the North Stars. But every now and then they would roll out that like cleaner little Stars logo. And so you can see some cats wearing the just like black and gold Stars logo that we had throughout the 90s there. But yeah, they were still the North Stars at this point in time. They hadn't moved down here yet. So young Mike Modano with a cameo in the movie there with Basil McRae. I don't know what I turned into there at the end. So yes, Stars versus Golden Knights tonight at 6:30. According to WFAA here, you can see that on ESPN and Bally Sports Southwest. You can get this cable service and pulling it up on ESPN or Bally Sports Plus Pro, whatever that is. Texas Rangers versus Washington Nationals tonight at 7:05. Okay. Apparently, you'll need, this is underlined and italicized from WFAA here, you'll need to have Bally Sports to watch this game. And who wrote this? I'm going to trust this person. Paul Livingood, my guy. You'll need to have Bally Sports to watch this game. Since the Stars Golden Knights game is airing on the main Bally Sports channels, the second game of the 3-game Rangers National Series will be on Bally Sports Southwest Extra. You can watch this game in the Bally Sports app. This will overlap with the Stars game. So again, you can put this on your smartphone, not smartphone. Smartphone? I think I got some smartphone. Woo! Number 1, smartphone. Foam finger. Number 1. Oh, is it smart? These things are like $7. They're worth every penny. I would buy 1 million of them if I could. I think they probably cost like a nickel to make. But man, they're so much fun. You can do everything. With a giant hand, like you can put your hand in it and then other stuff. So yes, that will overlap it. So you got to put it on your smartphone and put the Stars broadcast on the TV or vice versa. But you will need a second screen if you're trying to do both of those at the same time. Then, for the big one that I know everyone really cares about more than the Stars, even though we're watching, my God, Gordon Bombay is wearing a Cosby sweater. This is where I think he's really trying to put the moves on Charlie's mom. Oh, man, she's about to get it. Oh, she showed up wearing a red scarf, too, and her hair's already up. You know what that means. Already pulled back. Anyway, Dallas Mavs versus Los Angeles Clippers tonight at 9 p.m. They tip off against the Clippers at 9 on TNT. Due to Bally's loaded streaming schedule, the local broadcast for this game is being moved from Bally Sports to TXA 21. The broadcast will feature Bally's crew, and that includes someone named Mark Folwell, Derek Harper, another guy who I know is in Los Angeles right now named Jeff Skin Wade, and Leslie McCaslin. Pre-game coverage there starts at 8:30 p.m. So what if you want to watch all three? I don't know, man. You're probably going to have a lot of screens, and it looks like some apps and some other stuff like that. But, order up some apps, get some zerts, all that kind of stuff. Where's my actual... Yeah, it's a $10 million budget. Now I'm back to budget and stuff like that. All right. Take me to the Rotten Tomatoes for this dumb Mighty Ducks movie. Let's burn that real quick. I want to see how bad people hated it at the time. It's always tough. Because again, as a kid, I thought it was an incredible masterpiece. And then as I get older, I realize, hey, these are terrible pieces of filmmaking, but I applaud Disney for putting this out. I said, Disney doesn't do this anymore. Okay, Bombay's out on a date with the mom now. Hair's down. It's a bummer for Bombay. She's wearing a red hat. She's all bundled up. That's the thing. When it gets really cold outside and people get more bundled up, they look hotter for some reason. It's like there's more to take off. I don't know if it's that like more to the imagination kind of thing, but I don't know if that happens to anyone else out there. But like, yeah, summertime's fun and the bikinis are always great, and I like seeing everybody's stuff they're working with. But man, you get to wintertime and they put on all the like cool big jackets, and you can see who really fills out a sweater nicely. Really gets me a really fun time of year is what I should say. Summertime's great too, though. But anyway, Charlie's mom here. She's got the red hat. That's the other thing. You don't get to wear like cool like wool hats and stuff like that in the summertime. Like the accessories are just so much better in the wintertime. I feel like we're like, oh, that's a cool accessory to mess around with. Okay, yeah, here's the kiss. Yeah. Did they color? That looks like they color corrected the hell out of that red hat. That is popping. Matches her lipstick perfectly, though. If she did just map this out and plan it on her own, brilliant stuff. Those shades are identical. Good scarf there. Okay, so then the date's over. Date's over. We flash right to the game. So you can see Gordon Bombay's mind. It's not on Charlie's mom. He doesn't care. The Ducks winning, this is his full-time job. Again, I see some woohoo side boob. If you are just joining us here and you're wondering what on earth is happening, I am Strip Mall Steve. I used to be on a radio station that doesn't exist anymore. I will not be discussing much of that, but I will be talking about the 1992 hit film The Mighty Ducks, which will be wrapping up soon. Right around the time I wrap up here is when you should set your clocks and get ready to go over to Kevin Turner's stream at youtube.com at KTFunTweets. You should also just, while you're there, go over and subscribe to my buddy Jeff Kavanaugh's account. That's at youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh, all one word. And then while you're there, do the same thing with Ben and Skin. I'm pretty sure that's /Ben and Skin or /at Ben and Skin. Either one of those should get you there. If not, just try it. You'll find your way. Okay, so the Ducks are now playing, and I don't know that they've gotten better so much as the other teams are just playing far worse defense now. So you see them like skate in on play. Yeah, so like the other team here, who I'd imagine is supposed to be better than the Ducks historically, they're just running into each other, which I think is pretty uncommon for youth hockey players in Minnesota. As I was mentioning earlier, when I played as a kid, they would tell you pretty frankly, like, don't even try because you suck. There are 8-year-olds that are, when I was 8 to 10, they would tell you there are 5-year-olds that are much better. Every 5-year-old in Minnesota and Michigan is better than the best kid we have here at Dr. Pepper Star Center in Dallas. Now, that's 30 years ago. All that stuff's changed because there's more accessibility to ice. I know there's players that are born in Texas and Arizona and other places like that that get into the NHL nowadays, but it was far rarer back in those days, and they also knew it was a lot of Johnny-come-lately kind of kids that were just signing up because they were into rollerblading, or the stars just moved to town and their parents wanted them to do it, and that's pretty much why I was there. It's like, I was a good skater and had decent wrist shot, I could stick handle. That's about it. Okay, we're back to Gordon Bombay's killer traumatic flashbacks. Or again, the lighting is so weird. Legit, it's almost like there are spotlights over each of the face-off circles and the goalie specifically. So yeah, the goalie himself is in a spotlight. Center ice kind of has its own spotlight. And then there's some weird spotlights up on the wall. And again, it's definitely pitch black, and these are very targeted spotlights that are set up. Oh, there goes Gordon. He falls to his knees. Hits the pipe there. It's tough. It's the left bar. Lane Smith so disappointed. And so I believe what we're led to believe here is that, and as I recall correctly, young Gordon at that point, his dad's already long dead. Rarer, yeah, I don't think, most of the words I say aren't words. I don't know words. But I think old Gordon Bombay, his dad's already dead. So you got that Disney classic there. Like, they're going to kill off Bambi's mom, no problem at all. Like, just about every Disney film, there's going to be some kind of parental loss or some kind of deep tragedy that's occurred somewhere. Disney's really big on that. Even Frozen, they're like, hey, your parents went off to sea, and guess what? They died in one of the worst shipwrecks in all of history. Sorry about that. Well, have fun. Here's a snowman for you to play with. But so in this one, yeah, so Gordon Bombay's dad had died, I'm pretty sure. And so, like, Lane Smith is the father figure who really put everything all down on, can you make a penalty shot? So probably not the best advice for coaches working with young children, but you got to admit the guy gets winners. It's worked for him every other year. So I think Lane Smith is actually in the right here. I know Gordon might have to deal with some long-term trauma, but man, Lane Smith has a proven record of just creating a winning culture and getting the Hawks to fire on all cylinders. And if he has to be a jerk to do it, then he has to be a jerk to do it. And I wouldn't want my kid playing for him. I know that, but my God, that guy gets results. You got to hand it to him. Okay, so Jan's in the stands now, or Han. I never remember which one's which. One's in D2, one's in D1. I don't know. I'm not going to look it up. Actually, I'll just look it up. I'm right here. Which one's Han? Hans is in this one. I think they couldn't get Joss Ackland for the second one, so they bring in Jans, who is like his brother or something like that. It's real dumb. Okay, so yes, somehow or the other, the Ducks are now taking on the Hawks in the finals. It's a big deal here. We were at the finale. May I ask, so somebody here, may I ask why the Mighty Ducks movie? Well, because there are 2 Dallas Stars in it, for one. 2, the Dallas Stars play today. So I was like, all right, we'll do that. 3, I just wanted to test it. And I just always remember this movie being absurd, or test it. I mean, test this streaming software, test this dumb overlay thing I built. Test this new red mic condom. Did you see the mic condom? I got like a whole pack of them. I got all kinds of colors. So I got a green mic condom, an orange mic condom. I got all the mic condoms. They're so fun. So that's really the only reason I picked Mighty Ducks. I'll probably do more adult movies because I'm trying not to pick on the acting abilities of these children and really focus this more around Emilio's performances and Lane Smith and some of that stuff. But as I said, if I get bored and I can find a film under 90 minutes, which this one is, these are fun, easy things to do that I can burn during the day and then get right back over to other work and stuff like that. So that's why Mighty Ducks took on the inaugural one. Maybe I'll finish out the full trilogy here. But I might just go on an Emilio run. I might go look for all the best Emilios and hang in Emilio land for a little while. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll look through the rest of the cast, go down one of those daisy chain routes, see who I can kind of chain together. Yeah. So final game now, Hawks do exist. I do appreciate that comment. Because yes, Hawks exist, and they are not dive bombing people's heads, but they are, man, they're tearing the Ducks up in front of the net. The Ducks can't control anything. They're putting a few hits on them, but they really don't have much. Okay, there's some decent stick handling there. So that's their whole game, is it's kind of just, hey, end to end, let's let Adam Banks take it from red line to red line, basically, all the way from just have our goalie pass it to Adam Banks. Adam Banks, you just skate it all the way up the ice. You don't need to make a single pass. And then after you've skated around everybody, because you're the best stick handler on the team, if you could just shoot it past the goalie, that would be outstanding. Goldberg also, I don't think he knows anything about positioning. So Goldberg's character arc, he started as being very scared because he didn't have the right equipment. Unfortunately, I think Goldberg was also put in goal because he was a heavier set guy, which unfortunately from a physics standpoint kind of makes sense. The goal is only so big. If you can get a bigger guy to hang out in your goal, it certainly helps and at a youth level. The problem is as you get older, you got to be pretty damn flexible. And you have to know where to position yourself based on where the opposing offense is. Goldberg's positioning is awful. He just gave up one of the easiest wraparound goals I've ever seen in my life. You can't do that. you just can't. If you're covering short side, you got to be able to get back around. I mean, the wraparounds are tough to cover, but that one was very, very sloppy. All right, so the Hawks are up big. I think it might be 2-0, 3-0. Yep, 3-0. Okay. All right, Gordon's given an inspiring speech to a bunch of kids who, after the first period here, looks like none of them have been sweating in any way, shape, or form. So I did not do any research on like when they filmed this or if they like scrimmaged a bunch of kids together. Because I'd imagine that would be the easiest way to do it. It's just, hey, let's run several games here. Let's get all the footage we need and just edit this stuff together, obviously. Sorry, I forgot my train of thought there. Don't forgive me. Gordon Bombay. Oh, sorry. It didn't look like they had skated at all. So clearly when they were doing some of these pickup shots, they're like, hey, we just need you to do a pep talk here. But those kids were dry as a bone. There was especially one girl whose hair looked like she literally just walked out of hair and makeup. So clearly her helmet had not been on at any point. So maybe she didn't play the first period. Maybe that's how Estevez runs his team. Gordon Bombay is like, we're going to let girls on the team. You do not play. And actually, I do actually think that is his strategy, because if I recall correctly from D2, I don't think he plays one of the best goalies in the country until literally the final game. And maybe we'll visit D2 at some point. But yeah, I believe it's Julie the Cat Gaffney. And I don't think he puts her in until like the final shootout or maybe the end of one game or something like that. Maybe there's a time when he pulls Goldberg, but I don't think so. I think he rides Goldberg all the way to the end in D2, and then they let Julie get in there, and then I won't spoil the rest for any of you people who haven't seen D2, but Keenan makes an incredible play. That's all I'm going to say. A trick play for the ages. Okay, so one thing I didn't hit that I mentioned I was going to do a minute ago, Rotten Tomatoes reviews. Sorry, I jumped around. Gordon Bombay will grab my attention over here. Rotten Tomatoes, 23% from the critics. That's not a good score. 23%. Southern Voice Atlanta. That one seemed to like it. Yeah, I was gonna say. So a lot of these people thought it was fine. If you go in knowing that it's a kids movie, I think you're gonna be okay. That's it. Yeah, lighthearted classic kid sports film is fine. Most of the bad reviews are, just formulaic. Kids play hockey. Yeah, formulaic. Poorly directed. I would say it might be poorly edited more so than. I take that back. I'm not going to stand up for the director here. I'm not going to give him that. What's Stephen Herrick done? Let me go check out the rest of his career filmography. Okay, no, he's fine. I mean, he clearly lives in Disney World, in Disneyville, but he's fine. I mean, he's not a prestige director. Yeah, he's just a journeyman. Gosh. He directed Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg. Okay, hold on. Fulton just took a big shot. Knocks the goalie back all the way. So the slap shot. A very hyperbolic scene there. Fulton takes a slap shot to get it to 3-2 there. Fulton is a player on the Mighty Ducks. This is the 1992 film The Mighty Ducks. We are in the final scenes here where the Ducks take on the feared Hawks, coached by Lane Smith. I don't know the coach character's name. But anyway, this director here, Yeah, he did Mr. Holland's Opus. He did The Mighty Ducks. He did Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. He did the live action 101 Dalmatians. So yeah, he kind of lives in Disneyland. Oh, this guy directed Man of the House. And now I know what you're thinking. Well, Steve, there's two movies named Man of the House that came out damn near about the same time. And you are correct. They're not exactly the same time, but there was a Man of the House starring Chevy Chase and JTT, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, as well as a Man of the House with old Tommy Lee Jones. Goldberg, sorry, God, Goldberg sucks. They're losing this game because of their goalie. I mean, I know Adam Banks is doing all he can. I mean, the defense is not winning any battles in front of the net here, but Goldberg is laying down when he's committing way too early to this stuff. Where there's no indication that the player's even going to shoot yet, and Goldberg's laying on the ground. All they have to do is pick it up just a little bit, and it's a goal. Oh, okay, now we got the figure skater girl out here. I do love in kids' movies that they use distractions as a tactic quite a bit. So they already did this with Fulton once before. So now they're just going to have the figure skating girl. I don't know what those are called. She just spun around a bunch of times in a row, and then they confused the goalie enough to where Little Pete passed her the puck and she shot it in. Okay, so I mean that's certainly a move. Oh, okay, but she just took a hit. So yeah, that's what happens if you put a hit on a girl like that. You're gonna have to pay for it. And yes, so now Fulton, the enforcer here, dude, he just walked out, walks over to the other team's bench. Yeah, he starts grabbing people. That's going to be a penalty. Yeah, so there was no penalty for hitting the girl after the play was whistled dead and there was a goal, which should be a penalty. I don't think after you score a goal, if it's been like 8 seconds, I don't think you're allowed to just go hit another opposing player like that and lay him out. All right, it's getting chippy in this game now. Okay, yeah. Back to Rotten Tomatoes here. Yeah, formulaic seems to be the big issue there. As I said, poorly directed. I think the guy's probably a decent enough director. I mean, again, shooting sports movies is relatively hard. I don't see a lot of good hockey movies. I mean, this hockey's not terrible. I had to watch Dogfight Football in Top Gun Maverick that made no logical sense. At least this seems to make some logical sense. Okay, hold on. There's something I've been avoiding mentioning, and we're right here. We're in the MF and Flying V. Okay, so the Flying V, an incredible formation that I would imagine Gordon just drew up and didn't show us at any point. Oh, the driver's on the sidelines. The driver became an assistant coach. Okay, so they maintain onside. So they're very smart about their hockey rules here. They do not overcommit on the Flying V. The Flying V enables them to go in on sides. After that, I don't know what the 4 players that spread out actually did there. I think, again, just a distraction. I'd have to go watch that exact Flying V execution again. But I believe the Flying V was just a way to bring the puck up the ice. So really didn't do much there. Another thing you've heard about a bunch in this movie that I haven't mentioned here is the triple deke. And by the way, Eddie Garza, I am not missing Kevin Costner. There's a picture of Kevin Costner on my wall right back here. Kevin Costner is always here. I am never missing Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner is always in my life and always will be in my life. That will be at my bedside table. That will be buried with me. That photo of Kevin Costner. Look at it. Look at it hard. Look at it real hard. You looking? There he is. There's Kevin Costner. And next to him, it's Cheech. Cheech Marin. Cheech. Plays Romeo in that movie. It's from the movie Tin Cup. Oh, to save the hockey movie? Yeah, Kevin Costner would be incredible in this hockey movie. Good call, Eddie Garza. Yes, if we could get Kevin Costner in this hockey movie, it'd be incredible. Okay, I think there's been a penalty. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, penalty shot. Okay, so yeah, something must have occurred there. Again, it's been a little bit since I've watched the game sequencing here. No, I'm going to say not poorly directed. From a continuity standpoint, into the game here, these kids do look gassed. These kids look like they've had helmets on. They look like they've been skating. So, again, I'm not going to say this guy did any fancy schmancy shots, but, I mean, it's a kid's movie. He put out Drivel for Kids. He did what he was supposed to. He's fine. Don't tear that man down on Rotten Tomatoes. It's worth more than 23%. By the way, the audience scores in the 60s. Our audience loves it here. And how could you not? I mean, nostalgia aside, I mean, it's Emilio Estevez acting his ass off here. I mean, and he's having to carry the load. It's him and a bunch of kids. Joshua Jackson's the only one giving him anything. I mean, that Adam Banks kid doesn't do crap. They don't have any one-on-one scenes, obviously, but he doesn't do anything. Joshua Jackson's all he's got. I take it back. Averman and Goldberg, they're leaping off the screen. Those guys can hang. They've got chops. Okay. So one thing that I think is, I've never seen it in an NHL game now, but I think was allowed back in the day. Charlie skates out helmetless for the penalty shot. I don't think that's allowed, but I also understand why it would be in the 90s, where they're like, yeah, what do we care? There's no chance of a contact play. It's just you and the goalie. If you don't want to wear a helmet, great. From a filmmaking perspective, works outstanding, because now you know exactly who it is. We're like, all right, I know that's Charlie Conway. Also, he wears 96, not number 9. So yeah, Adam Banks just switched to Gretzky's number midseason for some reason. I don't know. Rotten Tomatoes, though, like I said, 65% from the audience, and that's on 250,000 plus ratings. Those are the people I trust there, not those lousy critic reviews. Okay, Charlie's going in. The other thing I had not mentioned was something called a triple deke, which is really nothing. A deke is just like a move back and forth. It's, I mean, yeah, do 5 dekes if you want. Do 2, do 1. Deke as many times as it takes to get the goalie to commit. If you can deke 3 times quickly to where you get him to bite, basically, outstanding. So I guess that must have been the exact move that Gordon taught him, was some special triple deke or something like that. But that was something when you're growing up, you ask your coaches that, like, hey, teach me the triple deke, and they just look at you blankly like, what do you mean? Just deke 3 times. What are you talking about? It's not a move, I don't think. Is Costner wearing pants? Costner is wearing pants back here. They are light tan khaki pants. Okay, it looks like we've just scored the game-winning goal. The Ducks have done it. There's Charlie's mom somehow on the ice. I don't know that you're allowed to run onto the ice and make out with the coach right after the game, but that is what's happening here. There's all kinds of people on the ice. I didn't even see half of these people in this movie before. Oh, Hans is proud of Gordon. Look at that. Hans is proud of him. Incredible. Oh, there's a loving embrace. Oh, that's a beautiful moment there. Oh, they just bring the giant-ass trophy out right then. Look at that. Man. Maybe they do that. Youth sports, my kids always get participation trophies. I don't think we've won anything. I think we get into the playoffs, and then maybe I have no athletic talent. My wife has some. I have 0. So yeah, I've never gotten a winner's trophy like that. I don't know if they give it to you like that at the end. Okay, so then we cut to the end. Here's Gordon about to get on this bus, a Greyhound bus. He has got a custom hockey bag that is decked out green that says Coach Bombay on it. I gotta say, I think he wasted a lot of Ducksworth's money. You could have gotten just a standard issue green bag or black bag. You didn't need it to say Coach Bombay on it. You can just get a little tag that you hook on it. The custom printing and all that stuff that had to really lift the costs a bunch there. Okay, so yeah, here's the loving embrace. What's he going to do to Charlie's mom? He just said bye to Charlie. Here we go. It's the cliffhanger. Okay, have a good day, yeah. Something like that. Just like a knowing not, like they just made out on the ice a minute. Oh no, they're going to go make out right now in front of people. Okay. Nah, that was just like a we're getting married kiss, but again, he's getting on a bus to just bail on this lady. He shook her hand? Oh, Gordon. Oh, Gordon. Oh, hold on. Hey, Ducks. We'll see you next season because we got a title to defend. Oh, man. But some of those kids are going to get cut out of the cast, and Charlie, your mom probably won't be back next season. And there goes the kids chasing after Gordon Bombay on a Greyhound bus. Wow. What a glorious time. Oh, roll credits. And there goes the cast. Beautiful. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. Like I said, it's about 2:45 now. You've got about 15 minutes. If you want to head on over to @KT Fun Tweets. I think KT at 3 here is starting it a little bit, and you don't want to miss that. And so definitely subscribe to him @KT Fun Tweets. I don't care about the gift from Charlie's mom. Charlie's mom is working at a Mickey's Diner or whatever that's in like a cable car or some crap. I think she schlocks coffee all day. um, she doesn't have the money to buy a custom hockey bag. Either way, go check out KT Fun Tweets, youtube.com at KT Fun Tweets, and then Jeff Kavanaugh at youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh, all one word there. And stay tuned, subscribe, go like that stuff. I'm new to all this. I'm more just testing things out, and we'll see how this goes in the future. Thanks a bunch. If you didn't watch this live, no big deal. The movie watch along lasts forever. You don't get to see me respond to the fun chats here, or you won't know what was happening at the time. But roll it back. The movie's still getting played there no matter what. Eventually, I'll put these things out as audio podcasts as well, so you don't even have to watch along here. But other than that, have a good day. It's been a ton of fun. I'm gonna go chug